Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Kelly, and this is lesson 2.11, all about classifying quadrilaterals. So I need you to know you need a copy of Math Masters page TA18 in order to do this lesson. It is the fourth slide in the lesson, so you could maybe somehow, if you have forgotten it, be able to get it from that part of this movie. But it'd be great if you had this page to be able to cut out and do the activities with, to be the most successful for the lesson. So go ahead and get this written in the lesson title and topic, as well as today's date written in your notebook, and then when you have that, come on back. Okay, so the math message. In your notebook, please draw 2 four-sided polygons, one with 4 right angles, and one with at least 1 acute angle. After you've gotten them drawn, do a Venn diagram. Remember, a Venn diagram is one of these, where you will write the things that they have in common in this section right here, and you'll write the things that are different for this one, for this polygon, and this side for that polygon. Okay, so go ahead and do the list for the attributes or the properties that are the same and different for each one. When you have that done, come on back. Okay, so because I don't know what ones you drew, I'm giving you some pretty big basics. I hope that you know that your polygons would all be quadrilaterals, or polygons with 4 sides, because that's what I was asking you to do, no matter how they look. So the things that they would have in common, no matter how they look, is that they would have 4 sides and 4 angles. Beyond that, I'm not sure what you had in here or what you had in here, but we can maybe talk about that in class. Okay, so here's that TA18 that you need to have. And the first thing you're going to do is cut each of these out. You can just cut them along the dotted lines. You don't have to cut the shapes individually. They can just be the little cards with the shapes in the middle. So get those cut out, and then you're going to sort the quadrilaterals according to their attributes. Play around with that a little bit, and then if you want some more help as to what I'm looking for, come on back. Okay, so if I sorted them based on right angles, so see if you can do that. Pause the video, don't look at what I've written in red. See if you can sort them based on right angles. And then when you have that done, come back and see if you have the same letter groups that I have. And then try and figure out, okay, so for those groups that I have listed there, what are they sorted by? How did I put them in the groups that I say I'm putting them in based on right angles? All right, so jot this stuff in your notes, do a little playing yourself. When you're ready to check it all out, come on back. Okay, so I'm going to say that the first group that has A, B, D, E, H, K, N, O, and P, those polygons have no right angles. And then I'm going to say group 2, so then we have F, F and I and J and L. I'm saying these all have 4 right angles, and these are actually marked with the little right angle symbol, right? And then group 3, they have exactly 2 right angles, and that would be C and G and M. Okay? See if you agree with that. And then you're going to be completing page 59 in your math journal. There's a couple of rules that I need you to make sure that you think through. All the quadrilaterals must be put in a group. So from those that you cut out, all of those have to go in a group. Please notice that there already are one polygon, one of the lettered polygons in each group. So you're going to continue to sort the rest of yours, but they must match the ones that are already there. And the other thing you should see is that no quadrilateral should fit in more than one group. Each one has exactly one home if you do this correctly. All right, so give this a try, and then you're going to fill out what these all have in common, what these have in common, and what these have in common. And then check this question out. In which of the groups does this quadrilateral belong? And explain. So when you explain, use the stem of the sentence in your answer quadrilateral X belongs in group because And then if you want to do the try this problem, feel free to do that if you brought your geometry template home. All right? All right, give this a go. When you have it all set, unpause this video and come back and see. Okay, so here's what we say. Those are the letters that are in group 1, group 2, and group 3. And we sorted it by parallel sides, the number of pairs of parallel sides. So hopefully you could see that. And then hopefully you would see that quadrilateral X would go in group 2, because in group 2 there is exactly one pair of parallel sides. These parallel sides, the top and the bottom, I could mark it like this, right? Those ones are parallel to each other because if they continued on, they would never touch. Versus these sides that if I continued this line up, it's eventually going to bump into this one, right? Because that would form a triangle where those met at the top. Right. Okay. So hopefully you got that. Here's some notes that I'd like you to get written down in your notebook and then try to answer the questions that are in purple. So jot down that the trapezoid is a quadrilateral that has at least one pair of parallel sides. That's a definition you need to know. And then you need to tell me which of those lettered cards fit into that family. And then the kite is a quadrilateral that has two separate adjacent pairs of equal length sides. And adjacent means the sides share an end point, right? So if you think about that, if I'm talking about an end point, right here would be the end point, right? And where those meet, we would say these two sides, this one and this one, are adjacent because they share a side. You would say maybe side by side or something like that as well, but the mathematical term that I want you to know is adjacent. So which ones would fit into this category? Then a parallelogram is a quadrilateral that has two pairs of parallel sides. Which ones fit here? A rhombus is a parallelogram with four sides the same length. Which ones? Rectangle is a parallelogram with four right angles. Which ones? And a square is a parallelogram with four right angles and four sides of the same length. Which ones fit here? You may already notice that some of them are going to fit in more than one category. Totally true. Totally true. So make sure you put every single one that can fit in every single one. Don't stop and say, oh, I already used A, I can't use it again. You certainly could. So put every category they fit in. Pause the video, take care of that, and then when you're done, come back and check it out. And here are the answers that we see. Okay? So again, hopefully you saw that many of the quadrilaterals can have many names. I mean, for example, quadrilateral F, you can see showing up here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Because we could call F a trapezoid, a kite, a parallelogram, a rhombus, a rectangle, and a square based on the definitions. So make sure that's what you get as well, that you understand that. And then once you have all this written down for yourself and corrected in your notes, take a look at the home link. There are 9 different problems you need to fill out correctly. And then when you have those done, and I want you to do the practice problems, though we know those don't count towards your score to see if you pass this one. I still want you to practice those because those are good skills for you to make sure you're continuing with. So take care of that too. But when you get the home link done, you can come back and check the answers on here if you want to, or on the other slide that's on the web page. Totally up to you. And here are those answers. So you can see I'm getting 9 because I say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? Okay. Write down your score on that on your yellow mastery checklist, and then let me know if you need to come to the lesson. Have a good one.